I'm starting the ride this morning from Patterson Lakes alongside the Patterson River. It's 10 to 7 in the morning. I'm an early morning person. I enjoy the early morning. Patterson Lakes is a nice place to live, good quality homes, and the trail alongside the Patterson River leads down to the beach and the boardwalk. It's a rather good spot. So I'll jump on the treadly now and off we go. My bike is a Mamba Venom. I bought it from Avocado Bikes online. Come in a big box. A little bit of assembly, but not much. This first canal bridge is a bit tight, but we'll give it our best shot. This canal leads into the Patterson Lakes shopping centre. There's a mooring there for boats, so you can moor your boat and go and do some shopping, or have a bit of lunch or dinner. Morning. I prefer to ride this hour of the morning. There's less people around. Another hour or so and it's quite busy. So I'll go up here and cross over on the Wells Road Bridge. Morning. And continue up the bike trail, a shared path, up to Springvale Road, which is about 5 kilometres away. And then I'll cross over and I'll get onto the Mordialloc freeway bike trail and go up to the end up there, show you what it's like. And then I'll turn around and I'll come back down to Braeside Park and have a bit of a ride around in there, and then ride out across through Waterways, which is a housing estate. It's really nicely done, and end up back down at Patterson Lakes again. I hope you enjoy coming along for the journey. This is the Wells Road Bridge over the Patterson River. To the left, the Patterson River goes all the way down to the beach, and to the right there's a big national water sports centre where they have rowing competitions and high-powered boat races. This leads down onto a bit of a gravel road that joins onto the shared pathway, which is paved all the way up to Springvale Road. You can tell when you get to Springvale Road there's a McDonald's on the left. See a lot of the same people walking their dogs every morning. Get to know a few of them. Morning. There's one bloke with a dog that collects huge sticks. I've seen him carrying 6-foot long sticks. We're in Chelsea Heights now, and it's a nice area. A lot of people are buying the older places here and doing them up. This is a newer part of Chelsea Heights here. Coming up to Thames Promenade now on Wells Road. There's the Chelsea Heights Primary School on the left, and there's good pedestrian crossings to cross all the roads. So if you're bringing your kids for a ride, it's a nice flat ride and it's nice and safe to get across all the roads. Push the button and sit tight. This is the bike trail along Wells Road. It's same as this all the way up to Springvale Road, so it's nice and safe if you're bringing a heap of kids along for a bike ride. On the right there's Servo, there's a chicken outlet, there's a pie shop. They do great pies there, worth the stop. On the left is the Bega Dairy. And Fine Edge Kitchens on the right hand side too. They've done a couple of jobs for us and we've been very happy. There's also caravan storage and a swimming centre. So generally it's a good area. It services all the community. Yeah, so this is the same all the way up to Springvale Road now, where McDonald's is. So if you need to have got the kids with you and you need to stop at McDonald's, that's where it is. Coming up to Wells Road now, McDonald's and KFC and so on are on the left. There's a set of lots just here opposite Dan Murphy's, and if you cross over here you can pick up the bike trail on the left hand side, which goes around to join up with the new freeway trail. But lots of safe crossings for the kids, as I said, and I'll do it properly because I'm demonstrating for the kids, and I'm very safe, of course. So as you can see over there, the bike trail goes around past the hotel, and I'll show you where it joins up. This is the Chelsea Heights Hotel. It's a very interesting design, the big dome and the sloping roofs and the pyramids, and they do good meals too. A good family environment. Got a playground for the kids and everything. This freeway we're coming up to now is an extension to the Frankston freeway that was done last year, and alongside it they put a bike path which goes all the way up to the end of the freeway at the Dingley bypass, which is really good. So over the other side the bike path starts and it goes all the way up there. It's a nice trail. This follows the freeway. They do the freeways really well now. As you can see, they've got all the sound barricades and you can't really hear them much. The estate I'm driving past on the left is Aspendale Gardens, and there's a few paths that lead into this area from there, so it's very convenient all round. It's a great path. And when I get down to the end here, I'll just stop for a minute and explain where the paths go. Now if you go straight ahead there, we can see that orange path on the other side of the road. That goes all the way to Mordialloc, follows the Mordialloc Creek, and crosses over Boundary Road at Braeside, where there's a bridge, and then just past there's a little white bridge where you can cross over and follow the trail up to Mordialloc, where there's lots of cafes and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, the road that I'm just approaching now is called Bowen Parkway, and I'll go to the right here and under the freeway, and then I'll pick up the new freeway bike path. Great area to own a bike. It's all, as I've said, it's really easy riding. lots of trails the kids can all ride along. And you don't have to have an e-bike, it's just easy riding. I do, because I'm 74 and my knees are shot. Coming up now to the freeway overpass, and they've really done this well. They've created a lake. I'll just stop for a minute and show you. They've created a lake here, and that's the freeway, runs around. The lakes don't take that long to attract ducks and so on. There's a heap of them swimming around there now, and people go fishing here. I was talking to a bloke that was fishing one morning, and he said he's caught some good sized bream, and they release them by the thousands here. And this lake hooks up with the rest of the lakes in the waterways housing complex area. So it's a good spot. Anyway, just thought you'd like to have a look at that. Just up here where you see the pedestrian crossing sign is where you turn left to join up with the freeway path. I'll leave it going for a minute while I get across there. Watch for traffic here because you not really good vision. Okay, now this is the new freeway path as well. It's a good path all the way, and it goes all the way up to the Dingley Bypass Road. It's easy riding all the way, there's no massive hills. Further up there's an entrance into Braeside Park, I'll show you that. There's, the lakes continue all the way along. Nearly gotcha. So I'll ride around 23-25 k's an hour, but along here it's just so flat. I'll just stop here for a sec. These lakes continue all around this estate, and there's good spots for everybody on the other side to stop for picnics and all that kind of thing. It's really good. Coming up to Boundary Road shortly. Coming up now on one of the entrances into Braeside Park. If you're coming up with young kids, it's probably a good distance to go. It's approximately 9 kilometres from where we started on the Patterson River, but it's easy. Now, on the right, there's a sign that says Braeside Park. Okay, that's the entrance into Braeside Park, and it's really worth a visit. I'm going to go for a walk around here now and show you these murals. These were painted on the underpass on the freeway, and painted by Edouard and Ashley Pugh, and boy, they've done a great job. And it goes all the way through in the middle. As you can see, it's pretty special, and the birds and stuff are just so realistic. A lizard, tawny frogmouth, possum, kookaburra. sitting in the old gum tree, and yeah, it's got an Aboriginal influence on it, which is good. We should always acknowledge the indigenous people, like the Boonwurrung, that were the custodians of this land from Wilson's Promontory to Werribee, I think, for many thousands of years, and they did a good job of looking after the place. How's that for a picture? Well, I guess it also discourages people from graffitiing, which is good. So if you're approaching from this area, behind me goes up to Springvale Road, I think. This is just north of Lower Dandenong Road. I put a few bends in the trail, make it a bit more interesting. And they're developing new parkland here, putting in new walking and cycling tracks. On the right hand side, so should be good. Good area here. Morning. Yeah, it's they've done this really well. It's they've got the barriers in alongside the freeway. This is 11 kilometres from where we started. Anyway, the barriers stop all the freeway noise, so you'll just never know that you're alongside a freeway. And as I said, it's easy riding for all the kids, and you don't need an e-bike, even though I do. This is Centre Dandenong Road crossing. As you can see, it's all got safe crossings and everything, and good for kids, good for adults. I'm not a road warrior, I'm just a trail rider. Noisy bugger. Oh, look at the bloody camera. There's still remnants of the old market gardens that used to be all through here. This area used to supply all of Melbourne's vegetables back in the 20s, 30s and probably 40s. And yeah, there's still remnants of it. Coming up on Old Dandenong Road shortly. That was Centre Dandenong Road we were on before. Yeah, Old Dandenong Road. Good crossings all the way. And then from here it goes up to the end of the there's a plant nursery there on the right. Do a good job. Now from here it just goes another 2 or 3 kilometres, or maybe not even that far, and you get to the Dingley Bypass Road, which is the end of this particular trail. I'll explain a little bit where it goes when I get up to the end. We're coming up on the Dingley Bypass now. Morning. Which is the end of this particular bike path. Okay, now that's 13 kilometres from the Patterson River where we started. Okay, I have these repair kits which are really good. I'll just show you some of the stuff it's got. It's got all sorts of spanners that you'd need for your bike. A wheel stand, got a pump, and yeah, it's got a screwdriver and all kinds of goodies. Yeah, so it's quite good. Okay, now we're at the end of the bike path from Springvale Road. If you cross over here, you can go to the left and go all the way along to Warrigal Road, which is probably about 5 or 6 k's. And opposite where you meet Warrigal Road, there's a beautiful park. I'll do that as a separate bike ride starting from here. And if you go to the right, you can go all the way along up to Westall Road, cross over Westall Road, and go along the Dandenong bypass up to East Link, and then turn right there and come down the Dandenong Creek Trail. I'll also do that one as a separate video, and I think you'll enjoy them. Okay, so now I'll head back down and do a bit of a ride around Braeside Park. I love Braeside Park, and I think you will too. Good spot for your kids to ride around. Okay, we're almost back down to Lower Dandenong Road. That's 16 kilometres from where we started on Patterson River. Sounds a fair way, but it's not really. The kids would love it, and the old folks. So this is Lower Dandenong Road, and I'll cross over here and then go to the left and show you where you get into Braeside Park. Lots of traffic this hour of the morning. It's 7:45, so it's the middle of peak hour. Waiting for the crossing. Waiting for the green man's like waiting for the kettle to boil. Hey, there you go. Eventually it boils. So we cross over here. Just got to watch out for cars turning left onto the freeway. Okay, you turn left along Lower Dandenong Road. Just up here, about 300 metres I guess, is an entry into Braeside Park. And I love it, and it's a good place to ride around. There's lots of car parking areas, and so this is Braeside Park. It's the traditional lands of the Boonwurrung people. They looked at, or they were the caretakers of this whole country for them and all the other tribes for many, many thousands of years. They estimate about 60,000 years. In here, there's plenty of car parking areas and barbecues, and it's just a really nice way to get back to nature and just dag around, really. It's good. So if you wanted to bring your kids up on their bikes, they can ride around to their heart's content in here. There's numerous trails to ride around. And just as you can see the freeway on the right hand side there, that's where I came up earlier. And I'll go for a ride around here and show you a bird hide, and I'll stop by a beautiful little lake that I really love, and stop there for a muesli bar and a drink of water. I keep the power turned right down, and that means I've got to work my legs a bit harder. Lots of old machinery. I'll just stop there and have a little look. There's lots of old machinery like this throughout the park to have a look at, and it's really good. Excellent. This is an old, I don't know, maybe it's a stump jump plough or something like that. I'm no expert. They're not labelled, unfortunately. There's usually quite a few people walking and jogging through here, but not this morning. Maybe it's a bit cloudy. It's 21st of April, so we're into the middle of autumn in Melbourne, Australia. So if you come in from overseas to visit Melbourne, there's plenty of e-bikes for hire all over the place. You can't miss them, they're all orange. Hire one and go for a ride. There's some beautiful places around. Plenty of bike trails. You do end up with your favourites, but more machinery on the left. There's drinking fountain as well. You're feeling a bit thirsty. Coming up to the main thoroughfare through the park now. I'll just get off and show it to you. If you go to the left, you end up at Lower Dandenong Road. You can't drive through, it's blocked off, but you can ride your bikes, and the kids are all safe riding their bikes and so on. But if you go down that way, it goes around, and if you keep following it, it ends up at Governor Road. I prefer to ride on the smaller trails myself, and that's why I'm going to go directly opposite here and go on the Wetlands Trail. Lots of little bridges and things that make it interesting. Little creeks, there's yabbies and stuff in the creeks. I don't know whether you're allowed to catch them or not. And I'll continue around here, and then this is 18 kilometres from the beginning of the ride at Patterson Lakes. More machinery there on the left. Fascinating old stuff. I'll turn off to the right here. I prefer to go around the smaller trails, as I said. This goes down to the bird hide and so on. Morning. So off to the right is a turn off to a little bird hide. I'll take you down there and have a little look, and then I'll come back out. I love riding through here, it's just so peaceful. There's the bird hide, so if you're down here and it happens to be a bit wet, you can put your bike in under shelter or just stand there and have a look at the bird hide. I'll just turn stuff off. And go in and have a look. So this is a bird hide. There's lots of information about the Braeside Park and the wetlands, and you can see out over the lake, all the ducks and stuff. and there's descriptions of them all around the walls where you're looking. There's also descriptions up on the wall, and it's a good spot. So if it's getting a bit drizzly or rainy, good spot to get out of it, and also a good spot to look around at the birds. I'll go back out now and around to my favourite lake. This trail goes all the way around the Braeside Park. Hello, there's a rabbit up there. There's normally hundreds of them. They're a bit quiet at the moment. So these trails go all the way around and crisscross through the park. It's really good. You can just set the kids loose and let them go. Up here there's a great spot at a lake, and I often stop there, which I'm going to do this morning, and have a muesli bar and a coffee. This is one of my favourite spots. So I'm eating a muesli bar, that's why I sound like I'm choking. This is one of my favourite spots to stop for a drink of water and a muesli bar on the ride. This is in the middle of Braeside Park. Last time I was here it was very green all over, but now it seems to be clearing up. There's always dozens of ducks in here. I believe there's yabbies in the bottom as well. It's very peaceful. It's really good for the soul to do this sort of stuff. Okay, now I'll head out. I'm heading south now, and I'll come out at Governor Road. All these trails are good. I stopped by that lake and it was such a good spot. You see where all the kangaroos and rabbits have been digging around. Just crawling along. In through the here, there's it used to be a horse training area, I believe. I'll look into it more and do more comments next time. Lots of seats to take a rest at if you need to. I'm sitting down already, so I don't need to. Now here, there's a branch in the paths. You can go straight ahead. I'll show you the sign. Okay, you can go straight ahead over the road, and that's the Red Gum Trail that goes all the way around the whole park. If you go to the left, it takes you back up to car parks and so on. And there's picnic areas and toilets, so it's really well set up. And
morning.
Morning. I'll go to the right and go down to Governor Road, and then I'll go across through the Waterways housing estate, which is a good spot. Yeah, I don't know what they've done. I don't know whether they've got rid of a lot of the rabbits. You used to ride along here and there'd be hundreds of rabbits over there. in the early morning, feeding on all the grass and shoots and things. There's a car park down at the end where it meets Governor Road as well. I was just talking to a bloke, he said he arrived at 7 o'clock this morning and the gate was shut, so he had to park out on Governor Road. There's plenty of parking area, this end and the other end. So you can jump on and off anywhere you like. This trail goes along and crosses up there where the lights are. So I'm crossing over Governor Road now, and I'm going to ride into the Waterways estate. It's quite nice, been very well done. Let's go out onto the road. Yeah, it's a nice estate. Good environment. It's labelled local traffic only, but the road does go through to Boundary Road. So over here, I'll cross over actually and show you the lake. It's really well done. Okay, so this is the lake at Waterways, which is just so well done. Good environment to live in, as you can see. Lots of walking trails and grass for the kids to run around on, because houses these days don't have big backyards. They only have small backyards, and so you need other recreational areas for the kids to enjoy. Straight ahead looking from here is a cafe. It's called The Nest, and it's a good spot to go on a Sunday afternoon, looking out over or any afternoon really, looking out over the lake and enjoying your coffee. A lot of bike riders use it. There's always a heap of bikes parked up there. So anyway, that's the Waterways. Now that is also fed by the lake I talked about earlier under the freeway. So it's all interlinked, and they stock it up with heaps and heaps of fish. I've never seen any caught, but they do stock it up. So it's a really good environment for the people living here. I can imagine the houses over there with balconies overlooking the lake. It's pretty good. One of those areas that's really turned out well. It's the road I just came down was called Burdekin Boulevard. This is the Nest Cafe. I won't go in because I don't really stop for coffee at this hour of the day. Looks like a vicious guard dog up there. You're stretched as far as you can, aren't you? Hey? There's a dog there stretched on his lead as far as he could go. I go back out onto the road now and ride around. So that's the Waterways area. Bit nice, isn't it? So the road from the Waterways leads back to where I was talking under the freeways, where the water was earlier in the ride. As you can see, it's safe for all the kids and stuff. So we're coming back up to the freeway again now. So that's the circuit. This is pretty good. I'll turn left and follow it back down around alongside the freeway back to Springvale Road again. Good morning. Smiley people. Not. Ride slow when you come around here, there's a lot of people walking. So you can get on and off here from any of the local suburbs, from Aspendale Gardens, which you can see straight ahead, or Mordialloc to the right, or Patterson Lakes and so on up to the left. This is the Mordialloc Creek that follows. I'll turn this off now and pick it up again when I get down to Springvale Road.